2026 is right around the corner, and as we enjoy the holiday season and relaxing, it is also the time we reflect on last year and start strategizing what we want to do in 2026. And as much as we love to think we'll be super motivated come January 1st, we all know we'll be tired, broke, bloated, and it's dark AF. Making actually getting started harder than we'd imagine. This year, I want to be different, and I've broken down the science from other videos and sources about how to make your brain crave hard work, and tweaked all these protocols to make you actually crave your workouts. So no motivation needed. Therefore, making them actually stick in 2026, as if they're as craveable as a sticky cinnamon bun. Part 1, hacking your brain to crave working out. The science of effort and reward. To crave working out, our goal should be to have the shift that the effort itself becomes the reward. Therefore, leveraging dopamine. Dopamine isn't just a feel-good hormone. It's the hormone that powers motivation, drive, craving, and movement. It was the chemical that made us forage for food and shelter, and now seek goals outside ourselves. Therefore, we're gonna leverage a lot of dopamine in this, which leads me to part 2. I have a cut on my hand, so I apologize about the Band-Aid. Speaking of Band-Aid, fitting the power of pain. Your brain tries to keep a pain-pleasure level, a homeostasis, keep it balanced. If you press on the pain side, think cold exposure, exercise, cutting your finger with a new sharp knife, the brain compensates by causing an equal and opposite tilt towards pleasure. Therefore, the hard work up front results in the reward. And this reward is a great way to build part number 3, momentum. Sometimes the easiest way to start is to remind yourself, it sucks now, but that's temporary, especially when working out. Dopamine levels gradually rise during a workout and can remain elevated for hours after because it comes on gradual, it also leaves gradual, unlike quick fix dopamine, so we need to caveat the difference. A scroll on social media will really spike your dopamine right away, but it doesn't reset back to your homeostasis, it dips below because it came on so fast. So your body almost compensates, leaving you in a deficit state.
Any high amount of dopamine that comes to you without effort before it will eventually destroy you.
Therefore, repeatedly over time, the things I'm going to deem hard work dopamine, like exercise, you will begin to associate with the same reward you get from the quick fixes because you know that dopamine hit is on your way, aka craveability starts. But without that negative crash, and repeat that over time, and what do we have? Momentum, which is really what we're aiming for. Part number 4, reframe. Now that you see doing hard work, like working out, is slow received dopamine results in a circuit that makes you crave your workout, then the next time you're in that hard part of the workout, the first 1 kilometer of a run, the 10th rep of a squat set, reframe your mindset and remind yourself that friction you are feeling will lead to a dopamine release. If you repetitively remind yourself in those crappy moments, aka consciously engaging your prefrontal cortex, you can start to see that crappy friction as the good part. I know it sounds crazy and you're like, there's no way, but I'm gonna give an example. I often think of being peak hungry as a good example of this. Imagine you're the absolute hungriest you've ever been and you see your favorite food being put in front of you. And that excitement of that first bite, because you know the reward's there, you can associate that same point of friction with that pain of the first kilometer of a run, that 10th set, knowing that satisfying sticky bun is on the other side. Yes, all my metaphors are about cinnamon buns. Or chocolate. Either one. Pick your poison, but not poison. Another thing you can reframe, instead of it feeling so clinical and boring. I like to think of how can I make it cool, chic, craveable, anything like that. For example, taking supplements. AG1, boring, just a green supplement. It's a little clinical because of all of its science-based. Or I could reframe it, mix it with a little milk and maple syrup. It is a matcha. I'm a cool girl in New York with my little fun matcha, and romanticize it because then it becomes enjoyable. And of course, AG1 is best of both worlds because it's a science-based formula of a wide variety of whole food sources, making it a great multivitamin, but also a prebiotic, probiotic, adaptogens. It is my nutritional insurance. This is why I like it. As much as, yes, I would like to be dialed in every single day. You're in the holidays right now. And guess what? You're going to your mom's for a great Christmas meal. It's holiday work party. We're drinking. Who knows what we're eating tonight for dinner? I don't know. hopefully is a vegetable. I got no idea, but I'm not worried because I know I have my nutritional insurance every single day from drinking AG1. So no, it is not a replacement. It's not a replacement for meals. You should still be aiming for it. But the reality is, in our busy, hectic lives, we're not going to get in everything. And I can't think possibly in this busy time of year to have 8 different supplements on the go. Just one that I romanticize every day. So I look forward to it. It tastes delicious and it's easy, simple, declutters my apartment because instead of having 8 supplements, I just have this one pretty aesthetic bottle. Let's be real, the vibes are also there, which if the vibes are there, I'm more likely to do the habit because I'm basic like that. And so I embrace it. But the best part is AG1's got a special holiday promo for you guys. Dare I say their best offer ever. If you head to my link or scan my QR code, you'll get the welcome kit. This morning person had a bottle of vitamin D3K2, an AG1 flavor sampler, and you'll get to try their new sleep supplement AGZ for free, which has been a game changer for my nightly routine. For free. In this economy, all those freebies will take it. It's practically stocking stuffer for yourself. That's $126 in free gifts for my subscribers. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring this video. Part 5, to make you crave workouts. Input versus outcome goals. In things specifically fitness, we are very outcome based. We have these goals in the back of our mind. Personally, I think one of the reasons I've consistently stuck to working out over these years is because I do about once a year, once every few months, get a goal in mind, whether it be running a marathon or something that's a specific goal I want to accomplish. Then I reverse engineer. What steps do I have to do every day leading up for the blank amount of time to get to this goal? Then I forget about the goal. I really stop focusing on it and I make the goal to accomplish those daily steps because you can always control your inputs. You can't really control the outcome, especially in a marathon. You might get injured. Life happens. Who knows? If your goal is weight loss, you don't really know how your body's going to react. You might want to get stronger. Hopefully you do, but you can't for sure do it. And so even though you do all this work, improve so much, you might not get the goal. And by having the input be the goal is you're repetitively doing everything you possibly can and you still get that dopamine hit at the end. So that is why I forever love 30-day challenges, whether it be just tracking your workouts, keeping a workout streak. There's so many different ways. You don't have to work out every single day. The streak, the keeping track of can be just 3 times a week out of 7, but make the goal accomplishing the input. As skills improve, the brain releases dopamine and endorphins, setting up a feedback loop that enhances focus and growth, therefore craveable. Part number 6, flow. Did you actually like playing soccer as a kid, or were you just good at it? Human nature is we just enjoy things we're good at. That is kind of why we love things we did as a kid, because we did them so much longer. We have this baseline and we're just naturally good at it because we started at a young age. And because we're good at them, we reach flow state easier. And the more time you spend in flow state, the more likely you are to enjoy something. If you don't know what flow state is, the best way I could describe it is like when you almost become autopilot. That's flow state. It's really easy in sports. Like you look back and you're like, I wasn't thinking at all. I was just doing. Same with playing an instrument. You're just doing. You're working at a computer, writing an essay or saying you're just doing. And it's like that really satisfying feeling of your body almost goes into autopilot and things are just flowing. And that is flow state. So you have 2 options here. Lean into something you already know you're good at so you achieve flow state easier. I'm going to give some examples. If you're formerly a dancer, Pilates, you're going to be naturally better at it than us that didn't. Someone like me who played a sport like basketball or a soccer player, we ran a lot. So guess what? We'll achieve flow state a lot easier in running. Or option 2, remind yourself that if you continuously show up and practice, after a few weeks, you will build the foundational skills that you can achieve flow state. But it is really hard to start because you just have to be so consciously aware of everything. But once you can kind of get that in your subconscious, it happens naturally, you can get that flow state. AKA, you'll start to enjoy it. You just have to get over that first hurdle, but know it always comes. Part number 7, self-reward, because sweet treat culture, right? We're just bribing ourselves. But this is a little different. Let's talk about the science of it, because dopamine thrives on unpredictability, aka intermittent reward schedules. This is why social media and specifically gambling are so addictive. You never know when the next big hit will be when gambling. You never know what's the next scroll. It's unpredictable. It could be the funniest meme ever. We don't know. So leverage this to help you crave your workouts. 1, sorry about sweet treat culture. Don't reward yourself after every workout. It could work, but then I find it just becomes a habit and it's not really a reward. So it becomes autopilot, defeating the purpose. So number 2, keep the reward schedule unpredictable. Intermittently reward yourself for accomplishing those input goals. And this will keep your dopamine system in check, aka boosting motivation for that continued pursuit, aka the evolution. We're just foraging for food, but our brain doesn't know that it's really just a workout and a nice smoothie after. Example, say you get to have your favorite fancy holiday coffee after hitting the gym 3 times next week. Then you're gonna buy yourself a new sports bra after doing 10 Pilates workouts. Or you get to scroll TikTok guilt-free for 30 minutes if you do Stairmaster today. Just kind of make it sporadic and your brain will crave it. Part number 8, we've been too sciencey. Now we're just being chronically online and we're going to talk about how to get your spark back with a little bit of science. Time off during the holidays, holiday parties, seeing family is amazing. And you should right now enjoy every second of it. But after you may have found an excessive of quick dopamine, you've had a lot of sugar, video games, scrolling social media on your time off, which will leave you naturally feeling kind of blah, because your dopamine's just all over the place. You just want that oomph back. Here's things you can do to resensitize your receptors, aka get your spark back. 1, take boring breaks. Next break you have at work or school or studying, don't spend it scrolling. I know, I'm probably gonna spend mine scrolling, but here's what we should do. Instead, think of activities that sound, kind of boring. A walk without headphones, meditate, breathing, just lay on the ground for a few minutes, or literally just stare at a wall. This isn't permanent, this is just, you know what, we just need a little palate cleanser after the holidays excessiveness, and then we can go to have our little TikTok work breaks. This is just to get that spark back. 2, swap your in-between times. Think of like when you're standing waiting in line at the grocery store, those just like transit in between moments. No scrolling on your phone. Rather focus on other things, the conversations around you. Pay attention to your breath, or just look around the store. It's the holiday season. There's so many pretty things, which may be stimulating, but let's just, take a breather from the scroll impulse. And 3, cold exposure. There's a lot of different information online about the specifics of cold exposure and dopamine, but some sources credit cold exposure to increase dopamine level up to 2.5 times above baseline. Regardless, it's a good way to kind of just break glass in case of emergency to reset yourself back to normal. Of course, you can go in a cold tub, cold shower, but honestly, this time of year, when you're feeling blah, just step outside a little underdressed for like a minute. And just that shock, that will get your spark back, just that blah we kind of have during the holiday season. You've been scrolling too much right now, you're inside, you're cooped up, just go outside for like 30 seconds and whoop, you'll be right back. Part 9, building willpower. If you do want a good read going into the new year, read Grit by Angela Duckworthy. It's about the science of willpower and building grit. I love it. It's one of my favorite books ever. But the basic takeaway is that grit is a skill you can improve and build like a muscle over time. Every time you do something hard or resist the urge to do something, it's like a muscle, and the next time it'll be a little easier because you built it. So when I do hard things, even if it's something I don't want to do, kind of having that willpower will apply to all areas. So I remind myself like, I'm studying or doing this course I don't really want to do right now because I had to for blank, blank, blank. I remind myself the grit I'm building here will also carry over to the grit I have when I'm training for my next marathon. When things suck in those, I just keep reminding myself like I'm building this grit muscle regardless of the tedious things we have to do, like taking calculus. That's useless for us for the rest of our life. You can also do 2 specific practices to build grit. 1, stillness. I know, why is that always the answer? Find a moment of just being, whether it's meditation or not. No phone, music, podcast. This not only builds the skill itself of stillness, but it also practices the lower stress hormone cortisol, and a calmer brain sees hard tasks as puzzles, not threats. 2, single task. aka not multitask. Try not to do 1,000 things at once, which is often our mind's way of seeking more quick dopamine. Concentrate on one thing at a time allows us to get a flow state easier. Therefore, as we discussed before, makes us enjoy what we're doing even more. So I'm going to finish off with a couple habits you can start today. Relying on motivation is way too inconsistent. And so many different factors influence if you're motivated for something. So here's some little habits you can do right now, every day, that kind of help you get going even when motivation is 0. 1, make the first step tiny. Commit to doing a workout for just 2 minutes instead of tackling an hour-long session. Just start with 1 set of push-ups. So if you're not motivated, just do the smallest version of the workout. 2, gateway task. From the YouTube video, How to Force Your Brain to Do Hard Things by Simple Actually, just do the first step of the process, focus on nothing else. Like just focus on putting on your shoes, putting on your workout outfit. just focus on getting out the door instead of focusing on getting in the gym. And if you just focus on that next step, suddenly you're at the gym working out, which is number 3, dress up hack. Just put on your workout clothes. Most of the time, once they're on, you're motivated to get there. 4, no morning quick dopamine. If you use up all your dopamine early in the day, it leaves our tanks empty. So I like to think of that quick scroll in the morning like is in a video game rapidly depletes our lifeline and leaves you no gold stores, no power up option. You're just empty. Versus if you save that dopamine for stuff that's like hard work, even if it depletes it, it also replenishes your lifeline back up again. So just kind of hold off the quick fix dopamine until you've used your dopamine for the harder things. 5, one win. If that sounds like too much, just say you have to do one productive thing before you do the quick thing. So just say I have to brush my teeth before I scroll social media. Just start there. 6, just do things you enjoy. You're about to be bombarded right now with all the workouts in the world. They're going to tell you to strength train and zone 2 and flexibility and high rocks, and there's so many different things, and there's science-based things too that are the most efficient. But there's pros and cons to everything. The cool thing is once you have the habit built, you can kind of apply it to everything. So instead of starting out thinking you have to have this perfect workout routine, just start with the workout that you enjoy. If you just enjoy Pilates, just say I'm going to do Pilates 2 to 4 times a week, whatever you say. If you hate cardio, don't do cardio. Just do whatever you really enjoy doing. And then after a couple of weeks, reassess your program and say, okay, I'm consistently going to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I should add in a little run at one of them or whatever your choice of cardio is. But just start at the beginning with just building that habit and then eventually focus on having it super well balanced. And I always find I have more success and it changes. Like in the summertime when it's warm out, I just want to run. So when I need to get back on it, I just run. When it's after the holidays, I'm a little lethargic and all this, I just want to be a Pilates girl. So I just do Pilates in January. And then once I've consistently doing both those, I'm like, hey, you need to get your act together and get to the gym and start lifting some heavy shit so you don't have bone density issues when you're 80. So, but just know I always do that hack and just do what feels good. It might just be yoga, it might just be running, it might be weightlifting, and eventually get to the point that you're really balanced. But focus on that later. And most importantly, ignore all this to January 1st. It is time right now to enjoy. Because in my opinion, life is having a routine you love. And then after a couple weeks, months, you're really bored of your routine. So you need to self-sabotage and you need to go have wild times off absolutely no routine to get sick, to feel like blah, and then crave your routine, so then you enjoy your routine again. And that is just the cycle of life. And it happens a couple times a year, and I used to think it was wrong, and now I'm like, no, it's the holidays. The point of the holidays is to make you miss your routine. And then you go in your routine so much that you become mundane, and then you eventually need the holidays. And this is the cycle of life, so enjoy it. And of course, most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.